What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about South Park Snow Day and what's going on with the game. I'm not all that worried about it per se, but I'm just kind of curious considering we're kind of running out of time. This game comes out March 26th, so about a month away. And look, don't show anything until it's ready to be shown. I agree with those points, but you look at the other games from March, specifically games that come out 4 days before this game, which is tragic that Dragon's Dogma 2 and Rise of the Ronin both come out the same day, March 22nd. Now, I bring that up because both of those games have been shown a lot. Primarily, I would actually say more Dragon's Dogma than Rise of the Ronin, but both have been given, a fair amount of info, whether it's info or whether it's actual visuals. And I guess that's kind of the point too. For South Park, you've had a couple trailers. They've been relatively short, right? Now, the game is not like this convoluted mess. You don't have to show, 1,000 things, but still, in what we've actually seen, haven't seen all that much. We get the basis of it. They've stressed the kind of creative team that this should probably feel in line with Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole, right? But that it's obviously a different kind of game. They've talked about the gameplay style, but we've actually seen, not a ton of the gameplay. Now, like I mentioned for Dragon's Dogma and Rise of the Ronin, it's not just about seeing it, although that is important. I do hope we see more of South Park before it comes out, but it's also like hearing about it. Those games have also gotten a lot of interviews and just a lot of talk that's been published. And with South Park, it's really been what we've visually seen. And then if you go on their website, there is, and I think actually factually, there's a little bit more info on their website versus what we've actually seen in the trailers, but not much. Like, they haven't really gone on some like interview tour. And again, like, this is I believe it's $30, right? So this is a smaller game. I think this can be a really fun, just really solid game. I don't know if anybody's expecting it to be like, the greatest game of all time. But at the same time, again, like a confused/curious is like, this is a big brand. Like, South Park is obviously huge. And although it's not like a direct, I guess, like trilogy, right, with the other two, it's not the same style of game. And you're not going to, I think, get that much meat on it compared to the others. It's still South Park. It's still, I think it can make a good amount of money. In fact, you look at what Helldivers 2 is doing right now, right? And I'm not saying there's a ton of similarities, but this game is, again, $30. It's a cooperative thing. It gives off very much Fat Princess vibes, which was a fantastic series, right? So, like, can this game be kind of like an under-the-radar thing up until release, and then all of a sudden it kind of explodes? I actually think this game can do that, like 100%. Now, will it? I don't know for sure, but I think it honestly can. So, I don't know. We're getting to a point where normally around this time, journalists would start to do like the final previews, right? They always kind of title it, or IGN, I think, does literally that, right? Like South Park Snow Day, the final preview. And you can joke about all you want, but ultimately they normally do it about a month or two before the game comes out, because once you get into March, like early March, right? I don't know if codes would go out for something like this, considering that cooperative element is so important. Reviews might be held until maybe even towards like the last minute. So yeah, the game might not be out there until March 15th, March 20th, somewhere in that kind of range, right? That's possible. But when you start to get into March, like, you're getting into that territory. You got roughly, looking at the calendar right here, you probably got a month. You got 1 month until pretty much the game is out, reviews are out, and all said and done. And I don't know. Honestly, I just feel like it's been more quiet than the average game. Lots of games have been more and more quiet as the last couple years have gone, right? Kind of holding things closer to their chest until closer, right, to when the game comes out. But this feels like even more than that. It feels like average-wise compared to other games, the average game, this has gotten much less info, much less just like talk about it. This close to when the game's coming out versus other games. So I don't know. Like, honestly, until it goes gold, I guess and this is not like a slight against this. It really should be in the gaming industry. Games get delayed. Games get pushed all the time. And I'm trying not to jinx anything, but until the game goes gold, you have to, at least consider the possibility that it could be pushed. It absolutely could. Will it? Honestly, I think it's like a 50-50 shot right now, right? You can't say no because we're this close and it hasn't gone gold and we haven't really heard anything about it. Maybe they look to the March 22nd games and say, all of April is clear. The only April game is Stellar Blade at the end of the month. It's kind of high profile. So could this game be pushed a few weeks? Would that help anything? Maybe, maybe not, right? But hopefully by the end of February, and oh, by the way, no, let me say this before I forget it. Also, it's called South Park Snow Day. So the longer it goes, right? Like if this game comes out in mid to late April or May, all of a sudden it doesn't really seem like it's the festive season, right? Already coming out March 26th, it can snow, I guess, around that time, but it's not exactly likely, right? But no, hopefully by the end of February, sometime at the end of this month, the next week and a half, hopefully we hear something. At this point, I'm checking every day. I've been going online every single day because we just have really gotten nothing since December, late December. It's been several months, and you only got one more month until the game comes out. Let me know what you think. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed. I'll be covering anything that we see or hear about South Park. It's definitely a game I do want to cover quite a bit on the channel, so I hope to see you guys there.